This video is crafted with love and harmony. Any perspectives or opinions articulated in this video are personal and pertain solely to the content creator. These viewpoints are not intended to disparage any religion, ethnic group, association, organization, company, or individual.
Scattered throughout the scriptures is a chilling and unsettling portrayal of God, a deity characterized as a tyrant, demanding absolute and unwavering obedience. Failure to adhere to divine mandates incurs severe repercussions. This being embodies vengeance and destruction, a creator with a dualistic nature, capable of bestowing life and death, good and evil, blessings and curses, capable of both love and hatred. The Bible elucidates this complexity in Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
The Quran similarly presents this perspective in Quran chapter 45 verse 26.
Say unto them, O Muhammad, Allah giveth life to you, then causeth you to die, then gathereth you unto the day of resurrection, whereof there is no doubt. But most of mankind know not.
From the moment Adam and Eve partook of the forbidden fruit, the wrath of God descended upon mankind. Divine pronouncements were pronounced, leading to man's expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Genesis chapter 2 verses 16 to 19 articulates these consequences.
Verse 16. To the woman he said, I will make your pains in childbearing exceedingly severe. With painful labor you will bring forth children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Verse 17. To Adam he said, because you listened to your wife, and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. Verse 18. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. Verse 19. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return.
The destructive inclination of God is further evidenced by the proliferation of sin during the days of Noah, which compelled God to obliterate the earth with a deluge. Read Genesis chapter 6 verse 7.
And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Also read Genesis chapter 7 verse 23.
And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark.
Examining the Quran's perspective, read Quran chapter 25 verse 37.
And Noah's folk, when they denied the messengers, we drowned them and made of them a portent for mankind. We have prepared a painful doom for evildoers.
Additionally, read chapter 6 verse 6.
See they not how many a generation we destroyed before them, whom we had established in the earth more firmly than we have established you, and we shed on them abundant showers from the sky, and made the rivers flow beneath them. Yet we destroyed them for their sins, and created after them another generation.
Following the cataclysm during Noah's era, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah also ensued due to their sinful lifestyles. Genesis 19 verses 24 to 25 recounts.
Verse 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of the heavens. Verse 25. He overthrew, destroyed, and annihilated those cities, and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground.
The Quran also addresses this in chapter 29 verses 31 and 34.
Verse 31. And when our messengers brought Abraham the good news, they said, Lo, we are about to destroy the people of that township, for its people are wrongdoers. Verse 34. Lo, we are about to bring down upon the folk of this township a fury from the sky, because they are evil livers.
Furthermore, the Bible indicates that God hardened Pharaoh's heart to orchestrate his destruction and ensure the demise of the Egyptians in the Red Sea. Exodus chapter 7 verse 3.
and I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt.
Exodus chapter 14 verse 4 elaborates.
And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them. And I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did so.
The Quran mirrors this sentiment in chapter 8 verse 54.
Their way is as the way of Pharaoh's folk and those before them. They denied the revelations of their Lord, so we destroyed them in their sins, and we drowned the folk of Pharaoh. All were evildoers.
The Bible also presents numerous accounts detailing how God instructed the children of Israel to engage in warfare, enabling them to claim their divinely ordained inheritance. Moreover, the scriptures recount the narratives of esteemed prophets and revered servants of God who were embroiled in various forms of destruction or death. Figures such as Moses, Elijah, Elisha, Saul, David, and so on, whether through corporeal means or spiritual intervention. Even more unsettling is the apparent collaboration between God and the devil in orchestrating destruction. In the book of Job, God expressed pride in Job's righteousness, leading to an agreement permitting the devil to afflict Job, thereby testing whether he would renounce God. This narrative unfolds in Job chapters 1 and 2, but chapter 2, verses 1 to 6 would be examined.
Verse 1. On another day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. Verse 2. And the Lord said to Satan, Where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord, From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. Verse 3. Then the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. And he still maintains his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason. Verse 4. Skin for skin. Satan replied, A man will give all he has for his own life. Verse 5. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face. Verse 6. The Lord said to Satan, Very well, then he is in your hands, but you must spare his life.
In addition to this unsettling partnership between God and the devil, the Bible also records how Jesus was led into the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. Matthew chapter 4 verse 1.
Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness, to be tempted by the devil.
When scrutinizing these instances of destruction and affliction, a profound dissonance emerges. How can God be perceived as the architect of destruction? Is it possible that these events have been misinterpreted? If God is capable of wreaking havoc and instigating chaos on such a grand scale, one must ponder, what role does the devil play? Has the devil ceased his endeavors since enticing Adam and Eve to partake of the forbidden fruit? Intriguingly, the Bible elucidates in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14 that the devil can masquerade as an angel of light.
And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light.
Yet, within the sacred texts of the Bible, we find no instances where he operates as an angel of light. Rather, apocryphal texts, deemed lost or excluded from the canon, depict the devil in action on numerous occasions. There is indeed more beneath the surface than meets the eye. If the devil were to present himself as an angel of light today, would we possess the discernment to recognize his true nature? A sinister undercurrent permeates this discourse, as the scriptures also assert in the commandments, "Thou shalt not kill." Yet, we remain less concerned about the apparent contradiction of the very being who issued this commandment engaging in its violation. Individuals who have committed acts of murder, whether corporeally or through unseen powers, are often revered, celebrated as role models, and held up as paragons to be emulated. Are we suggesting that the commandments function like laws, subject to limitations? Furthermore, even death, which is purportedly wielded by God as an instrument of destruction, was not created by him. Romans 5 verse 12 reveals that sin entered the world through one man, and thus death came as a consequence of sin. How then could God employ that which was never part of his arsenal from the outset? As previously elucidated, destruction occurs as a result of the unrighteousness of humanity. Ironically, the Bible states that our righteousness is akin to a filthy rag before God, Isaiah 64 verse 6, while directing attention towards Jesus as the epitome of righteousness. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 21. If God understands that humanity is incapable of achieving righteousness, should we conclude that He is the one administering destruction as a response to our unrighteousness?
This is all deeply convoluted and perplexing. With all that has been articulated thus far, how do we ascertain the true nature of God?
What an astute inquiry. This question would find its answer only if we were to encounter someone who genuinely knows God. We do not require individuals who have not witnessed God to elucidate His essence to us. We need someone who has truly seen God and possesses an authentic understanding of Him. Historically, only one individual has ever claimed to be the Son of God and has described himself as God. Through his teachings, we can discern the true nature of God. As many may already know, Jesus claimed this singular title of being regarded as the Son of God, asserting emphatically that He does only what He sees His Father doing. John chapter 5 verse 19.
Jesus gave them this answer. Very truly I tell you, the Son can do nothing by Himself. He can do only what He sees His Father doing, because whatever the Father does, the Son also does.
John chapter 6 verse 38.
For I have descended from heaven not to fulfill my own will and intention, but to execute the will and purpose of Him who sent me.
Thus far, I have successfully established a profound connection between Jesus and God. Moreover, as one delves deeper into the teachings of Jesus, he elucidates to the scribes and Pharisees, the religious leaders who presume to possess knowledge of God, that they, in fact, do not know Him. Even the world remains oblivious to the true nature of God. The conception of God held by the people diverged significantly from the reality that Jesus embodied. John chapter 8 verses 54 and 55.
Verse 54. Jesus replied, If I glorify myself, my glory is of no consequence. My Father, whom you profess as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Verse 55. Although you do not know Him, I know Him. If I claimed otherwise, I would be a liar like you. But I do know Him and adhere to His word.
Refer also to John chapter 17 verse 25.
Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they recognize that you have sent me.
Furthermore, in His teachings, Jesus asserts that it is imperative to do good, even unto one's enemies. Luke chapter 6 verses 27 to 35.
Verse 27. But I say to you who are willing to listen, love your enemies, do good to those who detest you. Verse 28. Bless those who revile you, pray for those who mistreat you. Verse 29. To the one who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also, and from one who takes your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Verse 30. Give to everyone who begs from you, and from one who takes away your possessions, do not demand them back. Verse 31. And as you wish that others would do to you, do so to them. Verse 32. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. Verse 33. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners engage in the same behavior. Verse 34. And if you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, with the expectation of receiving the same amount back. Verse 35. But love your enemies, and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for He is gracious to the ungrateful and the wicked.
Given the essence of Luke 6 verses 27 to 35, can God then be regarded as a destroyer? To further substantiate this, during the earthly ministry of Jesus, there was an incident when the disciples sought to replicate a celebrated act of Elijah, but Jesus rebuked them. Let us examine Luke 9 verses 54 to 56.
Verse 54. And when His disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, do you wish for us to command fire to descend from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did? Verse 55. But He turned and rebuked them, saying, You do not comprehend what manner of spirit you are of. Verse 56. For the Son of Man has not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they proceeded to another village.
If Jesus did not come to destroy humanity, would God have been the author of destruction? It is noteworthy that Jesus emulates what he observes the Father doing. If Jesus could chastise his disciples, would he not have admonished the prophets for the devastation they wrought? The scriptures also inform us that the people were destroyed due to their sinful nature. Yet Jesus was frequently seen dining with sinners. Matthew 9 verse 11.
When the Pharisees observed this, they inquired of his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?"
If Jesus dined with sinners, could he and his Father be the ones responsible for destroying humanity due to sin? Moreover, the scriptures reveal that Jesus did not come to condemn the world. Is destruction not akin to condemnation? John chapter 3 verse 17.
For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him.
The scripture further informs us that God is light, and in him, darkness cannot be found. 1 John chapter 1 verse 5.
This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you. God is light. In him, there is no darkness at all.
Jesus also characterized himself as the light, in John chapter 8 verse 12.
Again, Jesus spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.
If God is light and Jesus embodies light, why then does Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7 assert that God created darkness and calamity? This seems contradictory. However, Jesus provided insight into the entity responsible for destruction and malevolence. Let us begin this exploration by examining John 8, verse 44.
You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies.
From this verse, one could infer that the devil has been a murderer since the outset. Yet, who did the devil murder according to the scriptures? The Bible does not record any act of murder committed by the devil. However, texts that were deemed unsuitable for inclusion in the Bible suggest that the devil orchestrated Cain's murder of his brother Abel. Furthermore, if Jesus refers to the devil as a murderer, what moral justification does Jesus possess to label the devil a murderer? If God had been enacting similar destruction, are we to imply that when the devil kills, it is murder, but when God does so, it is deemed justice? This raises questions of double standards. John chapter 8 verse 44 also elucidates that the devil is the father of lies. As a master deceiver, unraveling his lies can prove exceedingly challenging. How many of his deceptions have we unwittingly accepted? Evidently, the devil's most cunning strategies involve lurking in the shadows, masquerading as an angel of light, and deflecting blame onto others for his actions. Jesus further delineates the characteristics of a thief in John chapter 10 verse 10.
The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly.
How then, could the giver of life also be implicated in death and destruction? How could God operate according to the devil's playbook?
But the scripture states that Jesus cursed a fig tree, causing it to wither.
Is a fig tree of greater value than a human life? According to scripture, a man's life surpasses all earthly possessions. And does the fact that Jesus consumed animals grant a license for the taking of human life? Nonetheless, the form of destruction that would be classified as divine judgment is reserved for the end of times, when the enemy of humanity, the devil and his legions, including his human agents, death and hell, will be cast into the lake of fire. This event will serve as a definitive conclusion to evil once and for all. I hope this exposition has provided you with food for thought. I come in peace.
Please hold on. Could you offer insight into what might have transpired regarding the destruction attributed to God in the Bible as highlighted at the beginning of the discussion?
All right, let us traverse this matter expeditiously. Firstly, God cannot curse.
But Jesus cursed a fig tree.
Allow me to rephrase. God did not curse humanity. The state of man while in the Garden of Eden differs fundamentally from the condition they would encounter outside its boundaries. God was simply conveying the reality of their new existence beyond the garden. Thus, it was not a curse, but rather a revelation of their altered nature. I will elaborate further on this in subsequent discussions. The flood that occurred during Noah's era, which annihilated the world while sparing Noah and his family, could not have been an act of God, The scriptures indicate that Noah and his family were spared due to their righteousness. How then could a righteous Noah succumb to drunkenness after the flood subsided, ultimately leading him to curse his son for mocking him while he was unclothed? Noah was not preserved through the flood because he was righteous, but rather due to his compliance with God's directive to construct the ark. The flood was not an act of God, but rather a consequence of the devil's influence, who thrives amidst sin. If you maintain that God destroyed humanity during Noah's time due to sin, while Noah was deemed righteous, how did sin reemerge? Moreover, one might question the significance of the rainbow, which serves as a sign that the earth will no longer face destruction. This will be elucidated more comprehensively later on. Similarly, we are informed that God spared Lot's family because of their righteousness. Yet, as righteous as Lot's children were, they had intercourse with their father. Given this recurring pattern of righteous individuals entangled in unrighteous behavior, one must ponder what constitutes the standard for righteousness. It appears that these individuals may not have been truly righteous at all. The obliteration of Sodom and Gomorrah bears a striking resemblance to the cataclysm that befell the ancient city of Pompeii. While it may be classified as a natural disaster, one could speculate about the true agent behind such calamities. If natural disasters were indeed manifestations of divine will, how could Jesus have rebuked the wind during the voyage with his disciples? Would he chastise that which he himself orchestrated? The hardening of Pharaoh's heart could be construed as the machinations of the devil, aiming to lead him to his own demise. The annihilation of Pharaoh's army can be viewed as an act of self-destruction. How else could one explain their audacity to traverse a phenomenon as extraordinary as the parting of the sea? They ventured forth without contemplating the possibility of the waters returning, driven as they were by their animosity toward the children of Israel, an animosity that undoubtedly has its origins in sinister influences. Moreover, the men of God who wield their powers to incite death and destruction are often deceived by the devil into believing that their prayers have been divinely answered. In the narrative of Job, we observe that the devil was among those who presented themselves to God when the sons of God convened. How could the devil return to the divine presence, especially when the book of Revelation asserts that no place was found for him in heaven? Additionally, Jesus proclaimed that he beheld the devil fall from heaven like a star. The devil, perceiving Job's prosperity, sought to instigate a disdain for God within him. He inflicted suffering upon Job without seeking divine permission, mirroring the deception of Adam and Eve. During the temptation of Jesus, the Spirit led him into the wilderness. However, the devil seized the opportunity to tempt him, just as it had been his pattern to tempt man.
If the devil is the architect of destruction, why does God not intervene before chaos ensues?
This is a valid inquiry. When mankind consumed the forbidden fruit, they relinquished their earthly authority to the devil, thereby transforming the earth into the devil's playground. However, it is a misconception to assert that God refrains from intervening in human affairs. He does intervene, although not necessarily in ways that align with human expectations. God's interventions occur in accordance with his purpose, covenant, and the redemptive plan for humanity. At this juncture, I would venture to assume that you remain unconvinced of God's non-responsibility for the devastation that has befallen humanity. To that end, I will present instances in which God could have justifiably enacted destruction that would have ultimately benefited mankind. Yet, due to his intrinsic nature, he refrained from doing so. Firstly, when the devil and his minions rebelled against God's authority, it could have been reasonable for God to annihilate them and create a new cadre of angels to prevent evil from wreaking havoc. Secondly, upon Adam and Eve's consumption of the forbidden fruit, God could have obliterated them and initiated a fresh start, thereby averting the lamentation expressed in Genesis chapter 6 verse 7.
For I, God, regret that I have made them.
God, fully aware of the devil's potential for destruction, could have preempted that declaration by eradicating Adam and Eve immediately after they ate the forbidden fruit. Thirdly, God could have executed Cain following his fratricide of Abel, yet instead, he marked him for protection. Fourthly, God could have destroyed Ishmael, deemed not to be the promised child, yet he chose to bless and nurture him. These pivotal moments in history have significantly influenced the state of the world today, yet God did not bring about their destruction. Are we then to suggest that, when the repercussions of their existence have morphed into a hydra, whereby severing one head results in the emergence of two more. God would finally choose to address the head rather than the root cause? The ultimate source of evil is what God will confront in the final days. Another illustration of God's reluctance to destroy is found in the narrative surrounding the birth of Jesus. When Herod sought to eliminate the infant, an angel appeared to Joseph, advising him to flee to Egypt. If God were inclined to destruction, why did he not obliterate Herod immediately? Instead, he directed the family to seek refuge in another land. Some religious individuals may assert that God enacted destruction in the Old Testament, but refrains from doing so in the New Testament. However, the Bible affirms that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God's standards remain unwavering. If you are a scholar of the Scriptures, you may currently be formulating numerous questions. I acknowledge this, but comprehensive explanations cannot be delivered in a single discourse. Your anticipated inquiries will be addressed in subsequent discussions under the sample, the commandments and the laws. I come in peace, and may peace be unto you.
Thank you for watching Through the Lens with Bros T.